Hey guys, Bill here, returning over New Leaf Lawn Care. Just wanted to do a follow-up video on my new Ferris Z3X. Little review. Wanted to go over with you to let you know my thoughts on the new Z3X Ferris stand-on mower. So a lot of you asked for a follow-up video, and here's the video for you, just to let you know my thoughts on it compared to the older Z3X 61-inch stand-on. So let me flip this around. Alright, so as you can see, I'm about 131 hours in. At 100 hours I just had my hydraulic service, and everything's been running really good with the new mower. Guess I'll start over here on the right hand side. I'll go over some things that I noticed down here when I bought it. I saw this little black thing here sticking out. It just looked a little strange, like something was caught there in the chute. That there is the baffle. Since the deck is shorter, they left the baffle where it is and just uncovered it. I don't know why they couldn't have continued the deck here, cut it off, and just made it look a little bit nicer. It's just a little cosmetic thing, really. But I've had other guys say, "What's that sticking in your deck?" They thought something was hanging out there. So over here on the old Z3X, pull this up here, that baffle is hidden back there. So the deck's cut out here, and you can see the baffle on the new one, but here on the older one it's hidden. Like I said, if they could have done that, it just would have looked a little bit nicer, cleaner looking finish. It just looks like they cut it off and kept the baffle where it is. So let me see. The 60-inch deck compared to the 61-inch deck, it's a night and day difference. The 60-inch deck really stands the grass up and cuts it really nice. It's like a totally different beast on the grass compared to the older 61-inch deck with the bullnose front end there, which I always thought looked more like a Velocity deck from a Skag. And now this new ICD Plus deck kind of reminds me of the X-Mark decks, but it's definitely a better change. The nice thing too is the decks. Yes, they're 60-inch and 61-inch, but the blades on both decks can be swapped and put on either one, so that's nice. See, I do like that they put the scalping wheels with a little attachment. Not that I've ever had any issues, but I have seen guys where this solid piece that you can't really take off of the deck has gotten hit, bumped by things, and bent and all messed up. So I have seen that. So that's a nice change there. That way they can just be taken off and replaced if damaged. I like the black that they did on the oil guard stuff. The older one just has yellow, which yellow sticks out like for oil, but just the black looks really sleek with the black rims. Here we got the gray rims, we got the black rims. Let's see, over here, this little pocket thing on the side for a cell phone is kind of pointless because you got this in the way and you can't really open it up to get a cell phone in there. You can get it in there, but it's really tough. I would like to see if they were going to do that. Ferris put it over on the right hand side of the pad because there's really nothing in the way. I mean, you have your gas tank here, but it would have been easier and nicer to put a cell phone right here on the right hand side. So over here on the left, it's kind of like that's the, you know, I never use it, but if some people want to put something in there, I don't even know if you can put like a water bottle in there or not, but I don't know. I seen Skag, the V-Rides had this on their pad, and I believe that was on their left hand side too. So, but this here is kind of in the way of this, so you can't really open it up too good because of this metal in the way with the deck height adjustment. So Ferris put it on the right hand side, and that'd be much nicer. See if there's anything else over here. Oh, this muffler exhaust on the left hand side, I would like to see Ferris put the exhaust pipe over on the other side coming out. One is, this is the trim side, so all that heat from the exhaust comes out and hits any plants, bushes, shrubs that you're going up against, and can actually kill them or hurt them bad. So it would have been nice if they could have the exhaust come out on the discharge side of the mower. So there's a couple other mower brands that do it the same as Ferris, and I've seen a couple other ones that it comes out on the other side, so I think that would be a nicer. The other thing is, this exhaust is right in line with this bar that they have here for their deck suspension system, and the constant blowout of that muffler really makes this bar dirty. Now I do get that cleaned off in the winter time. My mechanic at Wertz's does a great job getting that cleaned off, but it'd just be a little nicer, more cosmetic thing and appealing if it didn't dump right there and make that look nasty like that. So the other bars look really nice, and that one there starts to get funky. Let's see over here. Oh, this is a thing I added, and I think it would be nice if Ferris, this is just found a 2-gallon bucket at the Home Depot local to me. I ended up buying a lid for it, drilled a hole in the top, and that's where I throw my trash and debris. It's not screwed in or anything. It just easily comes right off by the handle, and I can take the lid off and then just dump it, and it goes on real easy. It's tough to do with one hand, but get it holding the phone here. But yeah, you can just kind of hold it here, goes over, slides right in, sits there. If Ferris could, I'm thinking this wheel well, if they could continue it maybe up to the battery shelf compartment here, and then just put a 2-gallon bucket on top. It'd be nice if this was black. I was going to spray paint it, but didn't want to see a bunch of flaky black paint coming off, so I just left it white. You could buy a black bucket, you can buy any color bucket you want, but I think it's nice. I do mostly residential, but I run into a lot of places that have some trash, and it's nice to have a place to throw it in and get it off the yard before you start mowing it and chopping it up, and instead of just picking up one piece of paper, run over with the mower and you're picking up 100 pieces of paper. So Ferris could, if they're watching, if they can come up with some little system, just works perfectly right underneath the gas cap there, and it's like it fits right in that place and didn't have to bolt it on or anything. I've seen a couple other mower brands, they have a trash bin, but it's usually over on the left hand side. But here we have the Ferris Vanguard oil guard system on the trim side. So yeah, so if Ferris could come up with a little thing, that would be sweet. I think they'd really make this mower pop. I also did that on my older style mower. Put the trash can right there. Let's see, going over on this side. This mower too has the exhaust pipe that dumps out, and it does get that bar nasty. So like I said, it's ongoing. If they could change that, it would be perfect. Another thing that I really like, I like the LCD, not the LCD, electronic throttle control knob, or button, I want to say. The older style had the throttle control on a knob. You pulled it back or forward to increase your engine speed. I like that ETC switch. The reason is because on that older one, I probably went through 3 or 4 of these throttle controls, because down inside there, the little I don't know what you call it, it would go bad. What would happen is I'd have it at full throttle and I'd be running the mower and I'd notice that it was losing power. Well, this would jar loose, vibrate loose, and start to come back to slow, and then I'd have to rev it back up again to get it to go. Ended up just taking a bungee cord, wrapping it to my oil guard bar there, and did it that way until I got it back to the shop and got it replaced. So I do like that. I do not have any more issues with the electronic throttle control button. Makes it really nice. The other thing is too, the engine, the ETC engine is also nice because it never loses RPMs. I have gone through some very thick grass, and it does not bog down like my older mower does. The older mower is not an ETC, it's just a Vanguard EFI 37 horsepower. The newer Z3X 60-inch, it's a Vanguard EFI 37 electronic throttle control. So it does not lose RPMs. But the one thing I did notice, I guess because of it not losing any engine power, it goes through gas a little bit more than the older mower did. I do notice it does go through gas. I never really did any studies on it, but I can just tell you I do go through gas a little bit more with this engine. But with that, it's keeping the RPMs up, so I don't ever really lose any speed, don't lose any power, cuts right through anything, and just keeps the performance of the engine up to take care of business. So trying to think, there's really not much. Like I said, it's that little cosmetic thing with seeing the baffle in the deck just looks a little funny. The muffler if they can have it dump out on the other side so it's not burning your plants or shrubs when you're trimming around them. This little cosmetic thing with the phone holder, if they could just move it over to the right hand side. And a trash bucket setup. I think if they did those couple little things, it would make this perfect mower. But it's a great mower, just little things, you know. I don't really believe any mower's perfect. They all have their pros and cons. But hopefully Ferris watches these videos and maybe takes what people see and notice, and maybe make some little changes. The gas fuel gauge is still down there, similar to the older Ferris, but I've had buddies of mine that their gas fuel gauge is out in the open and the sun beats down on it, and then they could barely read it, and the sun beats it up and cracks it, and starts to look funky. So I don't really mind it. I can always see what my gas is just looking down in there. I think it's nice. It kind of keeps it covered and out of the weather, and then that way you can read it better each time. But like I said, I had a buddy of mine, he's got a fuel gauge on top of his gas tanks, and the sun beats on it all day and just really does the damage to it, and he's had to replace it a couple times. So never have to replace these. They're just hidden. I've heard some people complaining about that, but it's really not a deal breaker. You know, other than that, like I said, it cuts beautifully. I do not have any more stragglers. I cut in wet grass, dry grass. Yeah, not that it's perfect in wet grass. I don't really know any mowers that cut great in wet grass. I always prefer cutting dry grass, but occasionally I'll get caught in a storm and try and wrap a yard up. But it definitely cuts much better than the old Z3X 61 inch. I think the deck, redesign of the deck really made it so much better. When I started cutting with this, I couldn't believe it. It just blew me away. The yards look totally different cutting with this newer Z3X than the old one. So I think it's great. Like I said, a couple little things, if they can just look into it and maybe change it to make it even better going forward, I think would be nice. But the articulating front end is great. I love that feature. I don't think I'll ever go away from that. I like it. If I used to have a Z2 52 inch, that was a solid frame mower. If I went back down to 52, I'd probably get the a Z3X 52 inch, because that articulating front end really helps you go over like bumpy terrain and stuff like that. So all right guys, well, I just wanted to go over that and kind of tell you my thoughts on it. Definitely a great mower. I definitely recommend it if you're looking at Ferris. Stand-on mowers, I definitely recommend looking in the Z3X mowers. 52 inch, the 60 inch, or even the 72 inch, I feel are like the top of the line stand-on mowers in my opinion. I've demoed a couple other ones and kept coming back to the Ferris. Just nothing compares to it. The ride quality, I can ride this thing all day long in hop off and still have energy, and don't get beat up on it. Ferris suspension is top notch. Oil guard, I love that. 500 hours between oil changes. Honestly, guys, I pretty much have my dealer do my oil changes. I usually put between 500 and 600 hours on in a season. At the end of the season, I take my mower, drop it off at my dealer, Wertz's, and they go over the whole thing and make sure everything's running good. And they'll do my oil change. No more every 100 hours doing an oil change. Not that it took that long, but if you're doing like 5 in a season, I don't know, a half hour, 45 minutes to an hour to do an oil change, you know, all depends. Some people are faster than others, but I'm just saying, if you just take all that time and having that oil guard system, you don't have to worry about it. So I think that's a great feature to the Vanguard engines. I know a lot of stand-on mowers I look at don't have that, so that is also something that draws me to the Ferris mowers. Just the ease of maintenance, and you know, if a mower's not down, needs an oil change, it's nice that I can just go once a year with the oil change. So, all right, guys. Well, glad you watched. If you watched this long, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I will follow up with other videos if I have any issues. But so far, this Ferris Z3X beast is running great, and I love it. So definitely check them out. See if you could demo one. I definitely recommend these mowers. All right, you guys take care. Thanks for watching. This is Bill, Turning Over New Leaf Lawn Care. Have a great season.